Hi there, I'm Valarie Carter with the OU Culinary Medicine Pantry Challenge, and there's a good chance that you have a bag of dried beans in your pantry just waiting to be cooked. So that's exactly what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how to soak or not pre-soak your beans, depending on what you wanna do, and then maybe some ideas on what to do with those beans after they're already cooked. So stay tuned and we'll get right at it. Okay, so we have our black beans. So this is just a 2-pound bag of black beans, and I'm just gonna open it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it into a colander. And as the beans are pouring out, I'm just kind of checking for any rocks or random debris or different kinds of beans that might have gotten in this bag, or beans that are split in half or ultra dried, anything that doesn't kind of look like the norm, you want to throw that out. I don't see much, so I'm going to take these over to the sink and give them a good rinse. I'm going to transfer the picked through and rinsed beans right into a pan. There are a couple of ways you can go about cooking beans. You can put them in the pot just as they are and turn the heat up and let them cook for several hours, or you can do a quick soak method on those. We're gonna do a quick soak today. We're going to fill these with water, cover it with about 2 inches of water, and bring it to a boil, turn the water off, put the lid on, and let it sit for about 1 hour. After an hour, I'll come back, drain and rinse the beans, and start over with fresh water, and then we'll add some aromatics and herbs and spices. Okay, so our beans are at a nice simmer, and we have our onion and garlic that we're gonna go ahead and put right into the beans. Just stir those in. I'm gonna go ahead and add a couple of teaspoons of dry oregano to this pot. If you don't have any dry oregano, no big deal, don't add it. A fresh bay leaf, only because I just happen to have fresh bay leaves. If you have dried bay leaves, that's totally great. If you don't have any bay leaves at all, no problem, don't add it. Beans are super great on their own, and you don't have to worry about adding a lot to them. I'm actually gonna add also about a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of cumin, ground cumin. So the one thing you'll notice that I did not add to this pot was salt. Whenever you're cooking beans, you wanna make sure that you cook them to the point that they are a little bit soft to the tooth, so al dente, before you add salt, because otherwise they will not be able to properly absorb the water to get all the way soft, and you can cook and cook and cook your beans, but if you've added salt, many times they will not completely soften up. So we're gonna let these cook for about 2 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and turn them down to low, and I'm gonna cook with the lid partially on. And I'm just gonna let those simmer for a couple hours and come back and check them. The other thing that you can do is, if you're needing your cooktop space, I also love to put beans in the oven on about 300 and let them go for that same amount of time, just a couple of hours. Okay, so these beans have been cooking for just about 2 hours on the stove, and they are looking super good. Just gonna give these a stir, kind of show you how they're looking. They're nice and tender. Some of them are starting to break apart just a little bit. That's really perfectly soft beans. And so I'm just gonna add a couple of teaspoons of salt to this. So 2 teaspoons to 2 pounds of beans. That should be just about right. And these beans are ready to enjoy just as they are. And that's it for making a pot of beans dry beans from your pantry. So I hope you'll join me next time for the next edition of OU Culinary Medicine's Pantry Challenge. Have a great day.